This is Kentucky Hot Brown Boys.
Everybody, bear with me tonight, all right? I got a lot of shit on my plate. I'm looking at a lot of shit on my screen here. Dusty B called out, so I got to man the cameras here. Still trying to share all the videos out in the proper order.
In the proper channels and order.
Yeah. And I just remembered that I did something that I shouldn't have done. So just bear with me here. In his place, though, not doing the cameras, Mr. Will Daggum.
What's going on?
Oh, you know what? Y'all got to change the camera myself. Yeah.
Speaking of which.
Gotta do that. Yeah.
We should just put one of those technical difficulty, like
just a banner
up for the rest of the evening.
For the whole thing. Well, I could have totally just been looking at you, but I'm still looking at Daggum. So let's see. Wait, there's Britt. Okay, there's Brad. Yeah, say all that again, Brad.
I don't even remember what I just said.
It doesn't matter. But
it doesn't matter.
But we got Brad in the studio. We got Britt Fred in the studio.
What's going on?
And let's not forget the sexy bald-headed Leo Bishop.
Hello.
Hey, I got just like last week. I got something for that vegan ass. You just wait.
Go again.
All right.
Oh no.
All right.
Keep trying.
Yeah, this is good stuff here.
Keep trying.
This is good stuff. Oh, so yeah, you guys just got to bear with me. I got some stuff I got to share and whatnot here. Let's see, what page am I even on? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a train wreck. I have a feeling. But it's okay.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah. I haven't had any of the bubbly, surprisingly, at all today. So, anybody else want to talk for a minute?
I mean,
give me something to work with.
This week sucked ass.
Yeah,
anybody else?
We didn't come here to talk.
Yeah,
we just came here to watch you sweat.
You press buttons.
I am sweating, so that's funny you guys would mention that.
You said this week sucked ass?
It sucked all the ass. It's not fun times.
What was so bad about this week?
It was just long, and it was just like just chaos.
Yeah, I haven't had any of the.
I hear myself in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It happens every
There we
week.
go.
I know it does.
Literally
it doesn't
happens
freak
every
me out,
week.
and it freaks me out. I think even more.
Okay, hold on. That was Britt. That's Brad. Okay.
You got it.
I'm working on it. I'm
Mastering
slowly getting it here.
abilities.
Everything's looking good on the
You should train one of your
screen,
kids
so.
to do it
Yeah.
when Dusty's not here.
That's not a. I keep
Like
I keep cutting to Britt instead of you.
Like an internship program.
My one son would probably be all for that. He would absolutely.
That could actually
love
have
that.
some valuable lessons.
That's how you set him up for success.
Just
for
get a
real.
text.
No.
God, I hope that's
something
Dusty
else.
saying he can make it now.
No, something else. I hope he can make it too, man. You know, I hope he can.
But for real, that is an actual skill that you would put on a resume these days.
Like how to operate a keyboard from multiple camera angles.
And, engineered a podcast, pretty much.
Yeah.
Put that on your LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm going to start lying about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of.
If I had a resume, I'd lie about mine.
I seen that you put like Reverend.
Yeah. On my LinkedIn.
Are you ordained?
Yeah.
I am
too. I think
ordained.
I'm like I think it might. Does that expire?
Have you ever
No,
married
never
anyone?
You
expires.
think?
No.
What do you mean you think? You should know. Right?
Universal Life.
Universal
Church.
Life Church.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
That
man.
doesn't expire. Like you don't have
No.
to get it updated every.
Nope.
Like renewed? I have to get my fucking notary stamp renewed, and you don't have to get your license to marry people renewed?
It's not really a license. It's just a. Actually, Daggum would know more about this. Daggum, you don't have to be certified every year for anything like that.
No, it's a one-time deal.
Are
just
you
have to have
also?
Yeah.
Y'all like in a club or something?
But see, I think Daggum is
It's a white people thing. It's
So why?
keeps people
why,
down. Another way
okay.
to keep people down.
Why did you get ordained?
I don't know. Just you could do it on the internet a long time
you
ago.
just
I don't
did
know.
it?
I was baked. Yeah, I was just probably just oh, this would be funny.
This is crazy.
Why did you get ordained?
Why did I get
Same
it?
reason, probably.
Well, I was at work, and another guy I worked with was like, "Hey, man, you can get ordained online and be like a minister." I was like, "Dude, we should totally fucking do that. Let's do it." So we did it, and that was it.
Yeah.
I've been ordained since 2008, I want to say.
What all privileges come with this, other than
like a
marrying
thing they
folks?
send you in the mail.
You get
Well,
to
they-
call yourself.
They
whatever
don't
you
even
wanna call
send it to
yourself.
you. You have to order it from them.
That's
It's
how
like,
they make the money?
It's like $30, and they send you a card and a
Do you-
certificate.
Did you take a
stuff.
test or just sign up?
You literally
You
just sign up.
You literally
Is it
just
like
get all your
different tiers?
information.
There's nothing you have
That's
to
probably
do.
why we get robocalls now. We were just talking about that off the air before the show
Is
started.
it like
could very
different
well
tiers, like more for the reverend versus the deacon?
Oh, you don't pay
No.
nothing. It's just a valid email.
Yeah, that's
So
literally
like
all
a
it
Leo
is.
Bishop. So imagine being Bishop Leo Bishop.
Oh.
I might do that.
That'd be kind of cool.
That was perfect.
So, but Dagum, you are you through the same Universal Life Church, or are you OG, like legit, like through
No.
like an actual church?
No, once I got kicked out the Bible college, they wouldn't let me
They
do
wouldn't.
all
This
that.
is
Yeah.
not a Christian company at all.
I would have had to jump through a few hoops. But yeah, a friend just was like, hey, can you marry me and my girlfriend? And I was like, give me 20 minutes. And then I was like, oh, no, I can. Like, valid email, and there we go.
So, back it up. Why did you get kicked out of Christian college?
I was just gonna ask, was
Oh.
it academic or?
I need that
personal?
story.
Well, it was twice I got kicked out. But
You
one time,
repented first time.
yeah, I repented.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
To you and you.
No, I was going there, and I just broke. They had a ton of rules. Like, you had to wear pants and long sleeve shirts, and like it was a really hardcore hardcore school.
Where was it?
Breathitt County, Kentucky. Yeah, we had our own
Sorry.
farm where we could
Sorry.
grow our own pork and
Oh.
grab our own pork, or grew our own pork and beef, and like it was real like cultish,
Oh.
and yeah, it was fun. I mean, I had a good
So
time.
you
with
went
it.
back?
Well, the second time I got kicked out, I wasn't attending. They just asked me to
Oh.
leave campus.
Oh.
So yeah, I broke a few rules, and I went and told on myself and was
rebel.
like, "Hey, I did this stuff I wasn't supposed to do," and they're like, "Well, we got to kick you out." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's cool." You know.
Don't they believe in forgiveness?
No, they do, but you know,
Not for that.
not when you're a heathen.
Ow.
No, there was a lot of worse people there than me that finished out and got degrees.
You were just honest.
Yeah, I was just honest about
Yeah.
it. That's my trait that I like to take away from it. It's like, oh, I was better than them.
There you go.
Because there were some dudes that were like getting hammered all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it was a huge no there for sure.
Railing some powder and
Oh,
hose all at the
man.
same
I
time.
don't know. Every
Did
fucking
you getting
kid,
too drunk on the Jesus juice?
every kid that I knew in high school that was like in the hardcore into Dare and all that stuff were the ones getting the most fucked up on the weekends. So
I was in Dare.
I think you had.
And look at you
I
now.
know.
I think you automatically enrolled in Dare. I don't think it was like an optional
Like when I was
program.
growing up, they forced you to do it and shit.
Just say it out loud.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's more
Yeah,
technical
well,
difficulties.
I can't really say it out loud because it's kind of not a thing that should be said. Just move it that way. The thing you just moved.
Oh, this sign?
Yes. No, not that thing. Yes, that thing.
Put it down. Just put
Just
it
lay it
down.
down.
dummy.
We'll tell you about it after the podcast.
Yeah.
Just get rid of
Oh
it.
my god.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Jesus.
Ta-da.
So yeah, welcome everybody to this week's show.
What the fuck is going on?
We'll tell you afterwards.
I talked about it
Okay.
last week, but I didn't do anything about it. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you after this.
Okay.
Oh lord.
Oh,
People
yeah,
getting
back
kicked
to
out of
stuff.
Bible
Back to Dare.
colleges. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have like this conspiracy theory. I've been on it since I was a kid. But they used to come to
Wait a
this-
minute, you with conspiracy
I know,
theories?
that's what
I
I
don't
was
buy it.
thinking.
I was born to be.
I don't
I
buy
wouldn't
it,
know what it
man.
is because I
But
have one too.
They used to always come to our school and like sign us up for shit and take our fingerprints and shit.
They did that.
Like,
Yeah.
The
I was like, what's up
Identikid,
with this?
yeah.
Like I'm like, they
I
trying to
did-
get
yeah,
us in the
I did it.
database early.
What-
Whoa, I never even thought
Yeah.
about that.
They did. And then there was another program that they had moms like register. You had to like register your kid, and they gave you like a little ID, and like they like it said like your height and blood type and birthday and like everything, and like
It was so like if you went missing, they
right,
could find
like they
you.
it was
yeah.
like right around like the Adam Walsh scare. Like my. Like I remember I wore it on my shoe from like first to like fifth grade.
Oh yeah, there's a commercial.
My mom
There's-
was
yeah, that
my
was
mom.
John. I think John Walsh
Yeah,
came up with
my
that.
mom was like terrified that I was going to get taken.
Damn.
Like she was so like I grew up as it was a legitimate
Well,
fear of mine. That someone was
Kidnapping
gonna take me.
in the 80s and 90s was all like
was the rage.
was the rage, like was the thing. People
the
were
crime
like,
of choice
that
for
people really
weirdos.
freaked out about back then. I think it was just more widely reported, like child abduction.
My mom was also
back
so
then.
afraid that I was going to be switched at birth, like when I was in the hospital, that she drew like on my like she like wrote my birthday on my foot, like with a Sharpie. So
Wow.
I really?
yeah, she was
I'm
because
gonna
that was
ask her
right.
about that.
I was born like the month after the movie Switched at Birth came out. Like that was the whole thing. in the
Wait,
80s.
there was a movie called
There was a
Switched
movie
at
called
Birth?
Switched at Birth, and
Was
it
it
was
a
like
Lifetime movie?
no, it was like an actual movie.
Yeah.
Movie.
I was gonna say this was before Lifetime, but Lifetime been out for a long time though.
Yeah. Lifetime's doing a movie version of the Lori Loughlin, Felicity
college
Huffman
mom
college
greasing.
admission.
She only got,
scandal
what, like
thing.
5 years probation for that
Yeah,
or
she
some
got
shit?
14 days
What?
in jail.
Felicity Huffman just got 2 weeks in jail.
That's
Yeah, 2 weeks in
bullshit.
jail.
I've known chicks to get years for lying and get their kids in good school districts. But you know she
I don't
she
live
rich
over
as
here.
hell though,
Yeah.
so you know she got the best lawyers. So
But that just got, I feel, back to that, I mean, that just goes on way more than
I mean,
people
wouldn't-
think anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
it's bad just
100%.
because like we expect her to be so good or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Do we? I don't think we expect
Everybody
her to be
would
good. I
probably-
expect
I
her
mean,
not to be caught.
I thought she was a good person, but I don't really think this is that bad of a thing.
No, it's-
honestly,
they're-
you know? It's only bad when you get caught. Type
Right,
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
They taking it too far, I think, like with the trying to get them the extra scholarships and shit, like to be on the athletic programs or whatnot. Like, you're already rich, you shouldn't be needing to get extra money
Right.
incentives. But if you want to cheat to get them to the best school, I get that.
yeah, I
Right.
understand that totally.
Because then
I
you're
mean,
like
what parent-
actually taking away from someone with talent. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
What parent wouldn't, you know?
Well, that's kind of, I hate to bring this up. It seems like I'm always the one that brings up like racial stuff.
Thank you.
But
Can't always
well,
be me.
Well, I
you
mean,
know?
like from the opposing view, okay. That's kind of like how I feel with the affirmative action thing, because like I hate to bring up the movie American History X, but I'm sure everybody's familiar with that movie.
Yeah.
When the dad is talking about the whole affirmative action thing, and he's a fireman.
Mhm.
And he's like, they have to give the job to somebody less qualified, just because they're not a white guy,
Right.
as opposed to a white guy who's more than overqualified. So now he's got to go to his job, which is dangerous.
well, how do you
then-
suggest that you make sure that the hiring process is fair when it is a historically known industry of like old boys club,
I mean, there's
old
no
white boys?
way.
Right.
There's
You know what I
no
mean? So
way to
there's like
truly-
Yeah.
there's no way to
Yeah.
ensure fairness
Shame.
other than another unfair rule.
In
Like,
America, only thing
Yeah.
works here is shame.
Yeah.
Like, because affirmative action don't even work. If you look at the statistics, like the people that benefit mostly from affirmative action is like white women or like Latinos. You know, so it's just all about how you classify yourself. You can be a white woman and considered a minority in the country, you know, but because like you said, it's a good old boys club or whatnot.
right, but
Just
So-
a good old
boys.
boys.
So it doesn't guarantee like a certain amount of people will get the job. It's just all about. It's like in football, for example. I don't know if you heard of like the Rooney Rule.
No, what's
So
the
basically,
Rooney
like
rule?
Art Rooney, I believe he was like the Pittsburgh Steelers owner at one point. He like sympathetic to racism and shit, and he noticed like it's never black coaches. This was like in the 90s, early 2000s, I guess. So they came up with a rule in the NFL that at least certain amount of black coaches have to be interviewed for openings, and that's just
They
how
at least
you-
have to be given the
Yes,
option.
yes.
Yeah.
You can't force them to hire them,
Yeah.
but you have to at least do the interview. You know, so that's like a counter thing to try to prevent racism from happening. And it really hasn't changed much, but you do have had like 4 or 5 black coaches, you know, over the past 10 years, which is way better than none over
Hey,
the
and let's not
60
forget the
years or
greatest.
whatever.
Let's not forget the greatest African American coach. Can I call them African Americans?
I don't know.
Is that okay? We'll say black African American,
I
whatever.
think black is better.
But
Yeah.
all right, we'll just say black. Let's not forget the greatest black coach ever, Marvin Lewis.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Goat.
Let's not
Actually,
forget
just the
that.
best
Yeah.
coach of all time.
Yeah. Period. Yeah. Hands
Actually,
down.
he's like setting it back and shit. Like, coaches like Marvin make it worse and shit.
Yeah.
You know? 'Cause it's like,
He always
oh,
looked like he had like I always said he called him diaper bucks. So he always looked like
Yeah,
he walked
I know.
around like he had like a shitty diaper all the time.
he always seemed sad too. Like
Yeah, he did like seem kind of
family was tied
yeah.
up or something.
he was like a football coach that like looked like he was having zero fun. Like he looked like he was going to like a 9-to-5
Well-
job.
Well,
like,
look at
every
who he was
week, which is,
coaching.
like-
I mean,
Yeah.
would you look like you were having fun coaching that
I don't
shit?
know. Still, you're still at the fucking upper echelon of your
Yeah, you're still
industry.
making great money
You're still making
and-
bank.
I think
You're
his-
gonna be fine.
His problem is he just didn't change. When he took over the Bengals,
Yeah.
he had to be that way. Because remember, all of the Bengals
He'd
players
be
was getting arrested
right.
like every
Yeah.
3 days. So he had to be the stern coach. They didn't have discipline before that. Then
But it's
after a
not
while,
even
He
It's-
did always
it's-
kind of have a look on his face too, like what now? What next?
Well, and you're under like a repressive regime of like Mike Brown. Like he's terrible. Like they keep him on like the shortest tether ever. Like all the whole coaching staff. You can't be any kind of creative or they
that's
get
the only
all
reason he stayed
pissed
around
off.
so long, because he was willing to just be controlled by Mike Brown.
Yeah, he was able just to run the agenda.
I wonder what Marvin Lewis is doing right now.
Bastard.
Probably watching us on YouTube.
Probably sitting in his
He seems like a
Plush-ass
Periscope
house.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be watching us on
For sure.
Periscope.
He was a commentator for that shitty football league that was around for like 2 weeks.
The XFL.
No, that's not out yet. It's
the-
starting soon
it's like
though.
the
Again.
AFF or something like that. AAF. It was around for a short period of time.
AF.
Johnny Manziel. Was
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like an indoor. It was like was it indoor?
no, it was
football?
outer.
It was outside.
Outdoor. Yeah,
Outer?
it was just trash though.
Can't be as bad as the XFL though.
Here,
Yeah,
would
it's
you
coming
guys?
back though?
Would you watch football if it was played by robots?
I think it would be cooler. I probably would definitely. I'd tune in every Sunday then probably.
I mean, it wouldn't even be football anymore.
It would be a whole other thing.
Yeah, it
Like
might as
what
well
if?
just turn the shit into Armored Core.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ow!
What?
Loud.
Classic game.
You're
You got
used to
way
it.
too excited there for a second.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming.
I
Yeah.
know. It was impressive. I was very enthusiastic.
I know. it's-
I
I'm
hate to say
excited
this
about it.
without Dusty B here, because this was something that me and him had always talked about. How they ban steroids in all sports. I think they ought to have
Oh.
a complete
Yes.
if you're on steroids, you're in a totally separate league. That's the shit that we want to watch.
Yeah, the steroid league.
Yeah.
That's where I think society has to like just come to terms with it. Like CT, all this, like you just sign up for it, and like then it becomes gladiators. Like
I feel
Yeah.
like certain steroids should be illegal. I mean, like
The ones that make you.
the ones that make you heal faster, that aren't
those
anabolic.
should be legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like deer antler and all this other like weird shit that they be Ray Lewis was
Yeah.
doing. They try to get him for that. You just rub it on you like cream and
Yeah.
just take down inflammation and help you heal faster. That's not really that much of an advantage in my opinion. They out there getting
I
in
think
car
any- yeah,
accidents every
any-
play.
I don't want the steroids
Anything-
to be cut with Benoit though. Like that's the steroids you don't want people
Yeah,
taking.
those are the bad kind of.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
those are the
saying.
bad
Those are the
steroids.
anabolic.
I mean, but
Yeah.
he was crazy
He also
from
had
the
CTE too.
exactly. So
Yeah.
hey,
And a really bad like drug and alcohol problem. It was just
Well, yeah,
the
you
wrong
mixed-
combination. Like
I mean,
everything.
he had like if it would have ended other than murder sue, like I don't.
murder suit. I'm so fucked up.
I'm gonna name one of my
Pleasant.
kids that Murder Sue.
Murder Sue, get over here.
Come here, Murder Sue. Come here.
When we watched 90 Day Fiance, like some of the couples were like, "Murder Sue,"
Yeah, we're
like under like.
Damn.
Yeah, we watched 90 Day Fiance.
Like,
whatever.
there's inevitability in some of the couples.
There definitely is.
Okay, now Brad, I am gonna tell you, turn your camera down just a little bit.
Just the tip.
No, like tilt it, like just grab the camera. Like, there you go, because you're kind of slouching.
Yeah, I know. It's
So, like-
slouch.
You got a cool.
No.
You got a cool
Now
Now
little.
turn it up just a frog hair, a little bit.
frog
That's good
hair.
enough. Yeah. Start slouching again. Okay. Yeah. That's
That's
perfect.
your natural position.
That's perfect.
I
Yeah.
like this. I'm a sloucher. What are you doing? Are you fixing my hair? too?
Superman.
Oh,
Thanks.
so cute.
Aw.
It was bothering me.
I used to always
Everything
like laugh
bothers
at
you,
like
I
white
do.
movies when I was growing up. How they used to always like tuck the hair behind the ear.
Yeah.
And shit. Like that was always funny to me.
My hair's getting long enough.
That was like in was it Zombieland when the guy's like all I ever wanted to do was just tuck the hair behind a girl's ear, and then he does it, and then like she tries to eat him or something.
I wonder if that new one's gonna be any good.
With Woody Harrelson, everything he does is fucking gold,
I love Woody
man.
Harrelson.
It's
Yeah.
either like no.
Yeah.
Yeah, name a bad Woody Harrelson movie. See, you can't
I'm
do it,
gonna
can
go
you?
look up some Woody Harrelson movies.
Did you
I
guys?
can probably only name 3 anyway.
Yeah.
I know
Money
this is
Train, White Man Can't Jump.
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah,
Hunger Games.
yeah, he was even in
Cheers.
Hunger Games.
And Cheers.
Like when I'm
Yeah.
not thinking fast enough, I get him in like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Same.
can.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
Speak-
happy I'm not the only one.
Speaking
Yeah.
of those two dudes, I know this is super relevant to 2019, but did you guys watch True Detective when it was out?
No. I heard it was really good though.
Oh, people versus
It,
people
like,
versus Larry Flint.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Uh,
another
Oh, yeah,
classic.
that was good.
That was good. See, you can't name a bad one, man.
Oh, I
Woody
can.
Harrelson. Oh, come. Yeah, but you're cheating though. You can't name it offhand.
Harrelson.
You're looking it
He's
up.
in like everything.
He's in all kinds of stuff.
His dad was like a murderer too.
Woody Harrelson's dad
Mhm.
was really.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a bank robber, wasn't he?
I'm on his wiki right now. Let me find it.
Something.
That's
That was a
something
movie
I never
he was
knew.
in.
Whose was it?
There's that There's a
Yeah,
podcast about.
his father was a convicted hitman who received a life sentence for the 1979 killing of federal judge John H. Wood Jr.
Damn.
He should like write a
That's
movie
like-
about his dad.
And he's from they
And
moved
play
to,
him.
and his mom
Yeah.
moved Woody to Lebanon, Ohio in 1973.
It's a lot of people lived in Ohio.
Yeah.
He's got
Mhm.
affiliations
well,
with this place.
There's
Yeah.
another. Have you guys heard of the serial killer Edward Wayne Edwards? He was the
Sounds like a
I think
law
I've heard
firm.
the name.
Edward
Sounds like
Wayne.
a-
Edward Wayne Edwards. That's
Law
a
firm of
Curie-
Edward Wayne.
Yeah, it's like the most serial killer-y ass name ever. But basically, he was like always like during this girl's life, they would always pick like her dad would come home in the middle of the night and be like, we gotta go, and they'd like pack up their shit and just move. And she always assumed he was in like trouble financially because he had filed bankruptcy several times. Well, here he would like murder people and like fucking
Take
flee
off.
town. And so they're like, and he was an abusive asshole on top of that. But there was this murder that happened in their like one of their hometowns, and she like they were like opening a cold case file, and she was like, whoa, my dad was the handyman at the location. She was like, she called and she was just like, I can't not turn him in.
So hold on. So who
under-
who was opening up cold cases?
It was
like
a
that she-
town in which in
That she would just be
Wisconsin.
like, hey, yeah, I know all about that.
It was a town in Wisconsin that she had ended up like
Oh.
going back to like
totally
go back to
totally
like
fucked that
after
cut up.
Yeah.
Eh.
It happens.
and so she like ratted out her dad, but then like it turns out like then he started confessing to like all these murders like around like the Ohio, like it was like Ohio area. And then there's like this detective that got like claims he's the Zodiac killer, claims that he killed John Benet Ramsey, claims that he killed
Claims that the dad
The
guy?
dad did.
Oh,
I thought
Edward
John
Wayne
Benet
Edwards.
Ramsey was Katy Perry, according to YouTube.
yeah,
according to YouTube, yeah.
That's a wormhole that I
Yeah.
went
Wait,
down pretty
what?
fucking far.
Sorry.
I've never even heard this.
I'm sorry.
What?
Dude,
there was
it's
a conspiracy,
creepy,
yeah,
man.
that she
Yeah.
disappeared after that and then was raised by Katy Perry's family
In Ohio.
in Ohio.
John
Dun,
Benet
dun, dun.
Katy Perry.
Ask
The
Katy
ti-
Perry.
time-
So
Timeline does
John
not add
Benet
up,
Ramsey
but-
is supposedly Katy Perry now.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't look
The
anything alike.
timelines,
kinda do.
everything. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
When-
YouTube. can make
When they do like the
Alright,
video
that's true.
morph thing and like morph the two faces, oh yeah, dude, it's
YouTube
scary.
can probably convince you committed a crime, even though you were
yeah.
like, well,
I don't know. That's
this is kind of compelling.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Where
Perhaps.
was I in '96?
So
I'm gonna have to
could you turn in a family member that you love?
for something like that.
A
Yeah.
serial killer?
If I grew up in a household where my dad was like repeatedly like abusing and neglecting me, and
No, I mean, he's just a loving father.
Yeah. What
you
if he was a
know?
great dad? Like,
No
what if he's like your
excuses,
dad
like,
now?
There's no motivation to
Hell
do
no.
it, just other than it's the right thing.
If he killed one person, I'd be like, yeah, I'll let it slide. But when it's a
Yeah,
serial
multiple.
killer,
Like, depending.
yeah.
What was the killing for? Like,
More
what
than
you know
three,
depends
it's
on.
like-
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I probably couldn't do it.
I would.
Really?
Really? So like if the news broke tomorrow that your dad was wanted for like 36 murders
Well.
in the greater Cincinnati area,
To
you wouldn't turn him
I
in?
would start laughing first of all because
and
there's no
You
way.
could make your own documentary. He's probably the Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
that's all. Yeah.
Seems like
You
I'll do a podcast about it.
You couldn't do it though?
Hell no.
Brad,
Nope.
I'm gonna go to you. Same scenario.
Nope.
all that many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would.
You turn
Something
your
like
own
that.
man in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I couldn't keep that.
But why? Like, I mean, there has to be a reason. Like,
Yeah, he all old and shit. It's like after the fact, he out the game. Like no more deaths.
Oh, if
Yeah.
it was
Saving
your
anybody?
dad's age, definitely. But my like dad at his age, no, I wouldn't. Now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if it was your
my
dad.
own dad right now, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Like what if like
you
asked
got
him
your
about
dad
it?
out.
No, I said no, I wouldn't. My dad right now at his
No.
age, no.
Okay, but just your figurative dad.
like 40 or 50-year-old
Yeah.
dad.
What if you like see the murder in his eye? Like I'll be back.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
you
for
later.
sure I would.
Boy.
Stop that shit. He could still be killing.
if you had the same exact experience with your dad as your dad, and then you found out like he just happened to kill a bunch of people, I would have to be like, well,
I kind of seen a movie about that.
He
The
was
guy
always-
followed his dad, and his dad was really a serial killer and shit.
Oh, wait a minute.
And they got into it or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Woody Harrelson movie?
Yeah.
Oh well,
But-
kinda. Not really, but
Shit, I think you're right. That does seem very.
you thinking of a movie
Very
when he raised his two kids to help them kill the demons. The evil
I was just joking, really.
people. You
I have
remember
no
that movie
idea.
when they was locking them in the Patterson dude was the father. Damn.
so while we're talking about like,
Well, hold on. I gotta go around the table here. Leo, I gotta ask you the same thing. Right now, if your dad came to you and was like,
No,
"Son, I
I'm
need you
not
to
telling
hide
him.
me out,"
No, I'm not telling. I'm sorry.
you wouldn't tell on him?
No,
Really?
really.
All right.
Would you tell him?
Hold on. Daggum. I gotta go to you, man.
But I have to step. Can we ask follow-up questions to each person?
Okay.
during
All right. Go ahead. Ask your follow-up.
This is not, I guess, specifically to you, but like, if it was like a family member that had like wronged you or like betrayed you in some way, would there be any?
Probably not.
Leo's a loyal motherfucker now.
Probably not.
Unlike Brad, who gives up secret
I know,
information at the drop of a
Like,
hat.
I'm the type of person, if you was doing like a bad enough crime, I would just like try to just stop you myself versus, calling.
But about after the fact, though.
What do you mean exactly by after the fact?
Yeah.
You found out after the fact that they were like.
No, it's
Dax
no matter
turned-
then.
yeah.
It's not even.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it really don't
Yeah.
matter.
All
Yeah.
right. Daggum, you're in the hot seat, man. If your dad came to you and said, "Son, I've killed about 36 people in Cincinnati area over the last 20, 30
I think
years."
if they confess, like it make it like less.
I would be like,
likely
"What do you
will
want to do
tell,
about
right?
this?"
Man,
Or it's
I
like
don't
they
know.
almost want to get caught.
I would be
if
like,
there's-
"What do you like? Is
or
this
turned
your
in.
guilty conscience? Do you want to make good on this? Like,
mean,
if that's what you want to do,
What
then
if he
I'll."
was like searching for an apprentice?
Yeah.
I see something in you.
Wanted to see if you had it
I
in
see
you,
it.
yeah.
Remind me
The
of
family
me at that
business.
age.
I don't know. I tell on myself about crap, so I mean, yeah, I'd probably rat him out.
You probably write him out.
I mean, if he came to me
On
about
purpose?
I mean, my dad's dead right now, so it's like, you know.
It's not your
Would-
anybody, any
Oh,
family
oh.
member.
If any
This is-
family member came to me and said they killed 30 people over the course of like 15 years or something like that, yeah, I would totally turn him in.
Well, now
Yeah.
we're talking fam. Well, I don't know if it was like a second cousin or something like that.
I mean, if I put it out there now, they're never going to tell me, so I'll just be good to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
People aren't coming back, so you aren't like saving the dead people. They're already dead.
Yeah, but if they could stop them, what if they could? They could still be continuing
There's
to
stories
kill.
of killers that get out of prison at like 70-some years old and go out and kill again.
The
Yeah,
only
it has
issue,
happened.
Yeah.
the only issue
Yeah, look
I
at
would
Golden
have,
State. That Golden State dude, he was
Why
like
burden
real.
yourself?
Yeah.
Why carry that load?
the only issue
Just don't
I
care.
would have to caveat that would be
Caviar.
if they killed somebody and like hid the body and the family is still like, where the fuck is my loved one?
Yeah, giving closure
Then I would be like,
to the other family.
Yeah,
that would be
I
the moral.
definitely would
That would be
then.
the conundrum for me, because it's like, if the person's dead, the family knows they're dead. They've already been able to like bury the body. They just don't know what happened.
Would you try to come visit the family member you told on?
Hey man, I don't know who told you that. I heard it might have been
I don't. Yeah. I still
What
don't
the
know
hell
if I
was
would
you
do it or
thinking
not,
telling me?
Uncle Steve said it was. I heard it was. He was the one that turned you in.
I try to Uncle June him, just be like, he's crazy. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
That's,
All right.
That's messed up.
I got to ask myself the same question
Yeah.
here. And I'm surprised nobody ever talked about this. Nobody
Oh,
mentioned
Lord.
it.
I knew there was a got you.
Yeah.
You're-
Well, there's not really a got you. But
there was a Jerry spin.
if there was like reward money,
the Jerry Spin Zone.
yeah, if there was like reward money, you know,
Yo, of course.
I'd be like, sorry, pops, but you know.
Well, how much reward money would it have to be?
I mean, it wouldn't have to be very much. I don't think. I'm thinking like if there was like a $25,000 or $50,000
You're
reward,
cold.
I'd be like, hey, you know what, man?
25, 50 grand nowadays is like 10 grand.
I would at least try to blackmail him first. And be like, look, there's $50,000 for your capture. Give me 75, and I won't say nothing.
It'd be like, I'm taking you
That's
in for
just
like
me.
bring your dad to work day or bring your dad to school day. And
Bring
you're
your
gonna-
serial killer to work.
Yeah.
Day.
No.
But now,
Dare's there
Okay,
that day
so-
too. They're trying to take the dad's fingerprints. He's like, no, I don't know.
yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, how about a DNA swab? Nope, not falling for that one.
I think it is, given the topics of current conversation, I think it is just about time to do the news.
Let's do some news. Fuck yeah. Hood lines.
Welcome to Hoodline News. I'm Leo Bishop. Tonight we have Britt Bratt with the news.
Tonight, we'll follow up on our previous serial killer conversation with the topic of Skylar Richardson.
Brooke Skylar
Brooke
Richardson.
Skylar.
Now, I don't know why they
Richardson.
dropped the whole Brooke thing. On
Her
there.
character is such a bitch on
Oh,
Breaking
man.
Bad. Did she die as a celebrity? What are we doing?
It's the baby murder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, all the women at my work were going
Oh
crazy
my
about this
God.
today.
That is some crazy shit.
Yeah.
She was found innocent of all charges except for gross abuse of a corpse, which I guess according to the forensics or whatever, they couldn't prove that the baby was actually alive.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
So, okay, back up and like rehash the story because those people might not be familiar with it. So,
She was in
okay,
high
go ahead.
school.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 or 17-year-old girl got pregnant. She didn't want.
She was 18.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
when did she get pregnant?
She's 20 now.
Oh,
She was
12.
18 when she got pregnant.
She had
She didn't want
6-year
anybody to
gestation.
know, so I think somebody knew initially, and she just avoided going to the doctors and stuff because they were calling her.
As far as I know, it was just her and the doctor, and she refused to go back to the doctor.
Yeah, it was
And-
multiple attempts from the doctors.
didn't they
nurses
send
and
something?
whatnot.
And
Yeah.
she said like her mom saw it. And
Uh,
that's what I heard. Like the mom saw it and like said, and then she was like, no, it's just it's just my friends playing a joke on me.
it was something like that.
Yeah.
But I know
wait,
that
wait, what a prank! It's got this doctor to
Yeah,
sign for this
they
note.
kept reaching out to her like via mail and email and
Yeah.
calling her and stuff, just trying to get her to go in and get ultrasounds and
Yeah.
prenatal type of stuff. She wouldn't do anything.
She should have just said she was a Christian Scientist.
She had the baby, dead or alive, we don't know, and then
What was it about her
Disposed
burning
of
it?
it.
She said
Say that
somebody
again.
said something about her burning the
she
baby.
they alleged that she drowned the baby, then burned it, then buried it.
Because you don't want it to come back. Right. So
I-
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
drown it and burn it. It's like a witch trial.
Okay, what in that situation? If that was a family member,
Would you rat on her?
yeah.
I mean, somebody ratted on her.
Well, they
Right?
found the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. She didn't bury it deep enough.
Yeah.
I was
Came
just
back.
thinking like if that was my daughter or something, what would I do?
That'd be rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a daughter.
So she drowned. So
Especially
she drowned it and then she set it on.
She
fire.
claims it was stillborn.
allegedly. Yeah. She says it was.
And then but there's
was
text saying
stillborn,
that she
yeah.
like squeezed it too hard, so she could have possibly also choked the baby.
Want to pet it and stroke it?
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ.
Mm.
But what they
I
do
don't
know
know.
for sure is that she searched online before the baby died how to get rid of the baby.
They always
That
and it was just a link to
is a
Planned
little bit
Parenthood.
of incriminating.
What I think is fucked up is like this chick was like 100, maybe 120 pounds. Like, how do you hide a pregnancy? for that
Today,
long?
When you're that-
today
It
at
happens.
sentencing or whatever, she weighed 89 pounds.
Well, and that was the other thing that was alleged, that her mom was like obsessed with being skinny and like,
But it says that she herself has an eating disorder.
yeah.
Mm.
Not so, I don't
That's
know
probably
so much
why
about
she
the mom.
kept it under wraps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she didn't want to get.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, her mom was
As-
probably.
because some of those people
That's
with
not
eating
that hard
disorders
to
are pretty
hide. Like I know
fucked up.
Really?
somebody personally that hid their pregnancy, and they didn't know she was pregnant until she went into labor.
How big is this person?
She was thin, young girl, about
when they're younger like that, sometimes they
Yeah.
carry real light. You don't even.
Yeah.
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 Really? I don't know.
Especially if they're not eating right and stuff like it. Anyway, trying to stay skinny.
yeah,
Like it
exactly.
doesn't show
Yeah.
up as much.
Some people just make an excuse because they pregnant and they just start eating everything.
And some people look like they swallowed 2 watermelons.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
they're
really.
just-
Have you ever seen this with women? Sometimes when they get pregnant, their like nose gets bigger
Yeah,
and
definitely.
never goes back.
But that's usually
It just never
around.
goes back.
What? I've never
No.
noticed.
Oh my
like,
God,
I
it's
see it
pregnant-
go back though.
terrifying.
It take a while. though.
Sometimes
That's from
though it doesn't.
drinking so much after you have the
Sometimes it
baby.
doesn't.
It
It's so
depends.
scary.
Yeah, I've seen that. It usually happen around the 8th or 9th month.
Oh my God, I already have a big fucking face. Like if I ever have a kid, I'm gonna be like,
You'll be surprised.
Oh.
Everybody don't carry the weight.
I'm gonna carry it like an elephant. Like I'm just gonna be like. That's why it's so scary.
But I've never known out of all these cases before I've seen on TV, like they just keep switching it up. Now the burden of proof is you have to prove the baby was alive in the first place. But I feel like when you neglect going, okay, everybody don't need to go to the hospital. Some people live off the grid. But if you chose not to go to the hospital for the ultrasounds and all these other things to make sure that the baby was healthy and living or whatnot, why is the burden on us to prove that the baby was alive?
Yeah.
You know, like you had the baby and somehow it ended up dead and buried. You have to at least take some type of responsibility for that.
So who ratted her out? How'd they find
They
out?
found the. I don't know how they found the.
I don't know exactly how they
It was like
came
buried in the
across it.
backyard.
Yeah, but it was buried in the backyard.
Mm.
I mean, at least
Somehow.
go somewhere.
Yeah, go to neighbors or
I don't
something.
know.
But I mean, what?
Hey, can I use your backyard for a
what's
couple
safer-
hours?
what's
Don't look
safer
out your
place than
window.
Your own yard, though. That's usually the easiest place.
You think people are gonna be digging?
Well, that's like that
Well,
family over
middle of the
in
night, you'll be
England that had
surprised.
like a bunch of people buried in there
This is yeah.
under their house and
Right.
shit.
Well, no one was all poking around.
And it's
Parents didn't know. Anyway,
Look at John Wayne
Leo-
Gacy, man. He had like 33 bodies buried underneath
Yeah.
in his crawl space.
Leo had a
and
good.
it stunk, and like the whole neighborhood would complain and bitch about it, and they didn't do nothing for like years.
Yeah.
Leo had a good point on social media though. Like it is like super, like discrepancy wise. There was a black lady who got shot,
Right.
and the baby died, and then they pressed charges against her for like endangering a fetus, and then this bitch like has a baby and like
Yeah, man, that shit is crazy.
burns and buries it even.
So
dead or
she's
alive.
out now, or she has to
She
serve?
did she get
No, I
sentenced?
think she's still in jail.
But
No,
she
I
got.
think she had to
probation.
spend like a night in jail or
No,
something.
we're not
and then,
talking about this girl.
Oh, talking about the other
Oh
one.
yeah,
Oh.
she no.
I was talking about the
The
baby
blonde?
on fire.
She was
blonde.
only
Yeah, Brooke.
Oh.
she was
Brooke.
only convicted of gross abuse of a corpse.
How long's that?
Well, she got
She
got
might even get
probation.
time
Three-
served.
three
you can
years
get
probation,
for
yeah.
gross abuse of a corpse.
Well, she's been in jail
I'd
for
known
like 2
that.
It was
years.
time served plus, and then but the other woman whose baby was shot, like she waited trial for like months, and
Is
they
this
eventually
girl?
threw the case out.
This
but-
Brooke girl like pretty and stuff?
Yeah,
I didn't
she's
know
a
really anything
cheerleader.
about this
Yeah, she's
story
a
until
pretty
today
young
at work.
blonde
Pretty blonde.
Women
cheerleader. Looking pretty fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she's from around here.
She's from up like
up in
a little
Ohio.
north.
Yeah.
I see how she got pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have such mixed feelings about it. Like,
Well, let's not sugarcoat it, Britt. Tell us how you really feel about it. From a woman's perspective, tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back.
It is still one of my biggest fears ever, and I was so afraid of it, of getting pregnant in high school. Like, I don't know, you're 18,
Were
you
you
should know better.
Were
but
you sexually active in high school?
No.
Then why would you worry about
Because-
getting pregnant?
That's just how she is, though.
here's how
That's
it
just
is.
like really how she, like I
Catholic
just like this doesn't make sense to you guys right now, but this totally makes sense to me. Like I could so see you not having sex or doing anything, but still thinking somehow you're gonna get pregnant.
Oh yeah, there was actually a rumor that like people like not in my circle, but like people like heard me in the hallway like freaking out about like, do you think I could be pregnant? Because I had like fooled around with a boyfriend, and like people not in my circle told me years later like, we thought you were like kind of a slut because we heard you talking about like being
Getting
pregnant like
pregnant.
in like because like they teach you in Catholic school like
we kissed and
you-
used tongue. I'm probably
Yeah.
pregnant.
you touch a wiener, you're probably gonna get knocked up because like my little 15-year-old, like probably 15, 16-year-old head was
Before
like,
you gave a
I touched somebody over
dry ass hand job, and now you're worried you're gonna get fucking pregnant.
What if there was something on it and like I touched myself afterwards, like going to the bathroom, like oh my god, like what happened?
Oh my god, I could see the conversation in your head right now.
Oh, it was so scary. So my point is that I understand how scary it is, but also like
So you understand
It's
how you like you could
2019.
kill it.
I probably couldn't kill a baby, but I could see myself being an idiot and like not telling anybody until it was like far too late to like have an abortion, and then I'd be like, well, guess I'm having a kid now.
All right, I just looked it up. They had some incriminating text messages from her. She sent to her mother. Apparently, she sent this the day before, 24 hours after the baby died. I'm literally so excited for dinner to wear something cute. Yay, my belly is back now. Taking this opportunity to make it amazing.
Got my beach bod back.
Then it's she texted her mother again that day after she buried the child. She had gone to the gym and was documenting her weight loss in photos. Another text, I'm literally speechless with how happy I am. My belly is back, OMG. I'm never, ever, ever letting it
Never
get-
touched
get-
You know what?
I'm never letting it get like this again. You're about to see me look freaking better than before, OMG.
She should be in jail even more so because nothing is more fucking boring than somebody's fitness fucking journey. Like that's should be at least like at least 2 years in prison at least.
so
The
annoying.
last text
Yeah,
was,
put her in jail.
last night was the worst night ever. Was like the worst ever, but I feel so much better this morning. I'm happy.
Yeah, all that morning sickness is gone. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's just fucked.
Well,
up.
you fuck yourself like, and really you're like they're not gonna check your computer, and you've literally searched on Google how to get rid
Well,
of a
she
baby.
probably thought it was over and done with. Like that's
Now,
why I wouldn't know
listen,
how it was
now,
found.
listen, I understand partially why I'm sorry, white privilege, this shit exists. Like in many cases, like people don't want to believe it because it's always here, like on Facebook, like, oh, where's my white privilege card? Did I get it in the mail? Like, come on,
People
it don't work like
we've
that,
had this
man.
people
Like, come
fundamentally
on.
don't understand what white
Like-
privilege means. Like it's
all it is just potential
You get-
advantage for people just to show sympathy on you because they identify with you.
Yeah.
Like in many cases,
Yeah.
it's not even always like, oh, let me go and get the black folk, but it's like I understand you more because I can see myself in you, type it, or my daughter or my nephew or whatever the case may be. It don't make it right,
Yeah.
but that's how you can see this college guy.
I-
Rapist gets fucking 6 months in jail.
I would just
You
like
know,
to
all
point
this
out
type
real
of
quick
bullshit.
that is one of my favorite pickup lines of all time.
Which one?
I can really see myself in you.
In you.
Yeah, it works. 90% of the time, it works all the time.
Like if you like at some type of spiritual or yoga type of thing, you can switch it up and say, I feel myself.
Yeah.
I like, have you ever woken up in
Then
the back
ask-
of a trunk? That one always seems to work.
Yeah.
Back to the serial killer talk.
Like hey, does this smell like chloroform to you? That one works good too. Yeah. But go ahead, continue.
No, I'm just saying, it's definitely a real thing. That's how you can get the girl getting shot
Yeah.
as a victim and going to jail for her child being.
See, I didn't even know
Like,
about
yeah,
that either.
I
I just
seen
like
that.
learned about both of these things.
Just like the same thing as the in Florida,
Casey Anthony.
the George Zimmerman, the Stand Your Ground.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This black chick was getting beat up by some dude. I don't know if it was her boyfriend or just some guy, and she let off like a warning shot to get him up off of her and shit. They arrested her and sent her to jail for shooting at somebody. But she was being beat and shit. Yet George Zimmerman can seek out somebody,
Yeah.
get in a fight with him.
I
and
would
kill
like to
him.
point out though,
You know.
George Zimmerman, Mexican.
See, once again,
Yeah.
remember I said something earlier about
Yeah,
being
I think that was before we were on the air.
Like-
Yeah.
like being lighter skinned sometimes gets you privileges. It's not always about being black. Just like through history,
He
if
was
you pay
passing.
attention,
I
like
do have to agree with you.
lighter skinned
If,
black people get more
if-
favor.
if George Zimmerman was like a really dark Mexican, he'd have probably went to jail.
Probably.
I
But
agree
it was
with you
also
on
his
that, yeah.
name. Look at his name. Look at his area he lived in. Like all of that takes.
Well,
into
fuck, Leo,
consideration.
you could go out and like murder like 36 people,
If
man.
it's
You got
based
the
on-
whitest name
if it's
ever.
based on names, like real names alone, I can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah. It's like there ain't no way. Look at him. I mean, come on now.
How could he?
Yeah. Such a sweet name.
But yeah, also like when white guys and gals get arrested, even if they got like a long history of criminal past, they always like choose the most pleasant high school yearbook photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 With
yeah.
me,
that's
I
true.
can get shot and I'll get killed, and they gonna use my mugshot for some random reason. I'm the victim, but
Well,
my
white people, when
mugshot
they get
ends
arrested
up
too, they
there.
could like just like straight up just tell the cops like, "Go fuck yourself," and like just go off and
Well, it's
nothing
the
happens.
same thing with like look at the school shooters. They get taken alive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So not all the time, sometimes.
What do you mean? Did you
No.
see the one guy I had posted it? He was chasing the cop around.
Oh, the
butt
guy-
naked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Then
yeah.
he
I
killed
posted that.
Yeah.
people
too,
and
yeah.
the kid. Then he was like hitting and tackling the other dude by the car, which I don't know what that was all about. And the cop just, I don't know. That's some weird
I,
shit.
I
That's some weird
did
shit.
share that, and
That's
my
weird.
little quote or status thing with that was if this dude had just a little bit of a tan, he
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have at least got tased.
Definitely.
Well, he,
Just
you're
watch
right.
like a
He was-
let's watch a Reds game or a Bengals game that's on like a Friday or Saturday, and like just like the drunk like
Well, I get
white
it. Like
people
at
that
sporting events, I used that argument before, like the sporting event thing, like how it's not considered a riot, even though they will potentially go on a riot and stuff. But they understand, they expect it many times too, so it's not as.
Oh, I'm just talking about being drunk and like acting a fool, like just like a fucking
Once
asshole
again,
in
you
public.
expect that though, like
Yeah.
at sporting events. So I still don't think that particular thing is as bad. Versus, just random guy killing multiple people
Yeah.
when you just won't shoot him. It's black people get shot and they don't even have a weapon and shit. Like,
Yeah.
this guy was naked too. Like
He was balls naked, chasing after the cop.
Yeah.
he was like jogging. Like
The cop was running away going, ooh, 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 he's going to touch me.
Yeah, they're fighting. You take. Nah, I don't
You're going to get me pregnant. Stop.
it almost didn't even seem real.
Yeah. It was
When
weird.
I first watched it, I was just like, is this like a Reno 911 like
definitely
blooper
seemed
or
like
something?
know.
And then like the more I watched, I was just like, why aren't they like taking this dude down?
So I'll be wondering,
So-
like, is it hatred mixed with fear? Is it more fear than hatred? Like, every situation isn't the same. Like, all black people ain't getting killed because you hate us. Sometimes I think it's fear involved.
I think it's more
that.
fear than anything, but fear makes people fucking dangerous because then you're reacting on an instinct.
Plus,
as
it's
opposed
training
to,
too. Like you get trained
Yeah.
to. Well, if you already view somebody as like slightly less. I mean, I don't give a fuck what you think. Most people in America look down on black people, just even if it's subconsciously.
That's what I always think is so weird about like the whole thing is like you're equally like looking down on them, but then also instilling them with this power by being super afraid of like black people. You know what I mean? Like
It's
that's what I don't
confusing.
get.
But
It's
it's
so
part of
it's-
propaganda, though. Like, even though I don't agree with it, I understand. At the same time, it's how we market it as people. Even when we talked about in the past, when movies first came out in Hollywood, they marketed the black dude. Well, it was a white guy in blackface, but they marketed them as rapists and stuff and savages. But at that time, black dudes was at the most
now that's
docile point in
Mexicans.
history. You know?
Now that's Mexicans coming across the border.
What was it?
True.
But, oh gosh, now I feel like a jerk for not the
Trumpy.
Tiller.
Till?
Till.
Emmett Till?
Emmett Till.
Yeah.
The
Like
little boy.
look at that. Like I mean that's like, you know, just a real world tragedy like result of like vaudevillian blackface. You know, like terror, you know, birth of a nation. Like like that's so deeply ingrained in all of our pop culture.
Like, we don't
That's
really
like-
talk about it as much, but even black people in America or around the globe, for the most part, they caught up in the propaganda too. Like, for the most part, self-hate and looking down upon each other, like, that's
It's
a real thing.
internalized.
Yeah, it's a real thing too. So if I can look down upon myself and I love myself more than anybody else, how can I expect the rest of the world not to do so too when they being force-fed the same bullshit? So I understand, even though I don't agree.
Right. It's on each and that's where I feel like, you know, woke culture got like hijacked by like extremist people, but that's really a good word for it because you have to be like each person is responsible for their individual awareness of like what's actually like what is the like systems in which we live and how can we be like cognizant of it, and like that's where it got like that's the simplest version I can like articulate it
a lot of
as,
black
but
people afraid though. They thinking it's going back, you know, it's going backwards in time and stuff.
I gotta
I mean-
say,
I feel like it is.
Well, I'm gonna say I gotta say I'm kind of afraid of this conversation right now. Can we talk about some white people now?
That's what we're doing.
Can we talk about the good white people? I'll tell you what.
Let me
I'll
see.
tell you what.
Bill Burr has a stand up that just
Yeah, and they're trying
I
to-
don't know
Yeah.
if he considered good anymore or was ever.
I mean, I like Bill Burr.
do
you
too.
know what? I'm kind of
that shit was funny, man. I watched it
Yeah,
last
that's the
night.
best
I ain't
one
gonna
he's
lie.
done in a while.
It's I don't know. It's kind of all the same, but it's always funny.
I like Bill Burr personally.
I like his little
him
rants
and Jim
shit,
Jeffries and all that. That whole
Yeah, I like Jim Jeffries. too.
Yeah, I like him. He's
Yeah.
good. I like him a lot. I was actually going to suggest we talk about some dead white dudes.
It's
oh,
not that many this
Yeah.
week.
Do we have any more
No.
news? No, we got.
we have a few more
Yeah,
news.
we got.
Do we got more news?
Yeah.
We don't have to do it line
Well-
by line.
Well, we don't have
but
to go like full on. We can.
I wanted
mix
to
it
talk
up,
about the
whatever.
Bang Bros thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What is
Talk about the Bang Bros thing, bro.
Bang
Good-
Bros is going
good
to
shout
hopefully
out.
buy an arena.
what is Bang Bros?
What?
So it's a.
You would ask that question.
No, don't tell her. Just get on
Just
your
guess.
phone and Google
Just
it.
guess.
Yeah.
Is it like I saw the logo? So is it the Bang Bus people?
You know what? Were Bang Bros Bang Bus first?
That's.
I don't
I don't know.
That's
Yes,
an interesting
but no.
piece of porno
That
trivia.
was
Daggum, you seem like a guy that would know that.
you know,
that was where my brain
it
went.
actually originated in 1983.
It's originally done in a Ford. I know somebody that would know. But I
That
don't
was
know if
something
they're-
like the first reality, well, fake reality.
Yeah.
porn.
Parody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, besides parody. Parody was like kind of the original, I think, I guess.
They used to get me, the Bang Bros. You go on their website and they give you like the little 30-second trailer. Then they want you to buy the
Get you hooked
20-minute video. Which
I
would
just
never
watched
do.
4 or
Yeah,
5
I just beat
30-second
off to the
trailers. I'm good. Yeah.
But what?
The Hun. Remember the Hun in the earlier days of the
remember
internet?
that,
It'd be
yeah.
like you're on dial-up, so it would take fucking 7 hours to get a porno clip that's like 45 seconds long, all distorted and.
I was back
Kids
in
these
the day.
days, I'm
Those
telling
were the
you,
days.
Struggle
had to
was
hike
real.
10 miles through the snow to get porno. Now you just get on a computer and.
Talk about
You
rules.
turn the camera off, and I'll be naked when you come back.
No, but Bang Bros submitted a $10 million naming rights bid for the Miami Heat arena.
That'd be lovely.
The Miami
I
Heat.
feel like 10
that's
million's not that much
basketball.
I mean-
for an arena.
In Trump's America, anything is possible.
Hey, Dusty in the group chat, he said they should call it the BBC. Bang Bros Coliseum.
Yeah.
Hey, that'd be funny.
They'll still find a loophole or something to where like, but like I said, $10 million doesn't seem that much.
I
For
think they
an
probably
arena.
just proposed the bid just for some. Good
Yeah, it's just some
advertising.
PR.
Well, didn't they say they were the only company to submit a bid?
Nah, it couldn't.
There's no
possibly
way.
be.
I
Miami
mean-
Heat, are they
reading
good? I don't
something
follow
Right now, the
basketball.
U.S.
They're
Bank
good. Are they
Arena
good?
is
Yeah.
up for renaming.
Yeah.
Maybe we could.
Well, no,
we
didn't-
should totally.
We could buy a high school auditorium maybe around here.
Didn't
No, get
Bang
Bang
Bros,
Bros.
didn't they just buy like an internet site and burnt all the hard drives and stuff like that? Was that the same?
No, I didn't hear about that.
So there was
Purpose?
a site that was taking in all information and putting out, like they got hacked or something like that, and it put out the actual actors and actresses' information of their addresses.
Oh shit!
And all this different stuff, and it was causing a lot of hate, and so they could find out their real names, their
Pussygate.
families. And so Bang Bros bought that. I can't remember if it was a torrent web place or something like that, but they bought a place that had all the hard drives and just burnt all the hard drives.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
That was just like a couple weeks ago that they did that.
wow.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
That's all I want to say.
or
about
clothes.
that. That's true. That's very true. But it's fun. It's funny you mentioned something like that because I scroll through Twitter a lot and I follow a lot of porn stars on Twitter and stuff. And it was like a week or two ago, something like that. This
Adult actress.
adult actress, we'll say, was bitching that people were calling her by her real name. She's like, "That's just disrespectful. Don't call me by my real name." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Well, what the fuck is your real name?" All I did was like, just go to Google, type her in, click
Yeah.
her Wikipedia page,
And it showed up.
and it showed up like everything that she probably doesn't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
So
She should just go change it herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often.
Well, apparently it was like a really big deal as far as like even a few years back when it started happening, I guess, because it was like, I mean, just like the internet, anything, you say one thing and there's going to be a ton of hate. You're going to have a bunch of Bob Saget's and, you know, whatever the other guy is that's on there that I make up. Stamos, that's what it was.
Yeah, Stamos.
But there's so many people out there that just
I noticed they haven't commented and you haven't touched your phone.
I've been real
since you've
busy
been
this
here.
week. Yeah, it's I think I forgot the login. That's what it was. But yeah, there was a big O to do about that. I wish I'd had the article.
I just
on that.
found it. They had acquired an obnoxious docking site called
Docking site,
Porn
that's what it was.
WikiLeaks.
Yeah,
Doxing.
doxing.
Oh, excuse me.
Not up on
Dogging is
your
a whole
porn
different
lingo.
other thing in porn.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys know what docking is in porn?
Docking.
I do
No,
know
I
what that
don't.
is.
That's
Hold
Hold
on,
on,
did you
hold
put
on.
it in something?
If you
I
know,
guess?
if
Penis insertion?
Well,
It's-
Inserting and leaving
peen on
it there?
peen.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
peen
Yeah.
on peen. Peen on me.
Oh my god, we haven't had a sing along in a while.
When you're not
When
strong.
not peen on me with your big schlong.
you call me daddy,
I'll be your
Oh.
friend.
I hope you carry on.
I hope
That's
you-
fucked up. The lyrics
Yeah.
worse and worse as you think about it. No, I didn't know that though.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
That's like, well, are you talking about the docking or
yes,
the
I
thing?
didn't know that.
Oh, well, basically, I think what docking is like when two uncircumcised.
No, we're talking about
dudes-
doxing now.
Oh no, I'm talking about docking though.
Oh.
But docking
That
is
is
like,
kind of like, it's just a
yeah.
bunch of angry nerds that don't have, I don't know.
a bunch of incels.
I mean, they have private lives like everybody else, and like I'm sure there's like celebrity stalkers, and then there's like porn people stalkers, which I'm sure.
They say they have 15,000 performers' information, which is a lot.
Yeah, well they
Yeah,
don't now.
that's-
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was their whole
15,000
thing
is a
about it.
lot. Although I feel like
Yeah,
I wonder
not
how
all
many.
of 'em, right?
I like to
mean,
hear
shit,
statistics of how many people are actually in the porno like industry, like
I wouldn't even
number-wise.
think
it'd,
was
it'd
that
be a lot, considering like
Counting amateur and shit.
counting
too.
like the amateur, like the cam
And, like,
sites
cam- like,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I consider that.
Hell, the
porn.
camera that I'm on right now came from a guy and a girl who were cam models, and they only sold it because it was too nice of a camera. It's because of the wide angle.
Cam models.
Yeah.
See, that's some. Like if I had,
professional.
I wish sometimes I wasn't from such a good family.
What?
'Cause you can make so much money being a cam girl.
What are you trying to say? Cam girls don't come from a good family? Uh-oh.
But
This is going to be the
family-
controversial
Usually
statement
on
that
the-
finally...
It's usually the great family or horrible family. It's the
Sometimes they
middle
come from
ground
great
that don't get
families, though,
much
too.
action.
You have family
Yeah.
that like.
Too good. Hey,
Uh-oh,
everything
this is
I
going to be our
wanted.
This is going to be the
wish
thing that
I
gets us in
didn't.
trouble.
I wish I didn't have family to disappoint.
You want to pay me money for pictures of my feet? I'm
Yeah,
in.
for sure.
I told you my friend that he was getting.
I have
he
pretty
did.
feet.
He did a nude scene full frontal in this like independent horror film.
Did he say his aunt watched it or something?
Well,
we
his
talked
aunt,
about
like
that, yeah.
a family member saw it, but then like also like he was like, I guess there's like a kind of like a celebrity. What was that guy that does
Mr.
like
Skin?
Mr. Skin
Skin,
site, but
yeah.
for like gay men to go to? And he was on there, and he was only rated like a 6.2 or something. He's like, and the worst part is, the fucking I was only a 6.2, and my kids are gonna Google that someday. And
They're going to find Mr. Bearskin.
but he would get random messages. He would get random messages from like men and stuff, like sell me like wear a pair of socks and send them to me, and I'll give you like $200.
I'd
And
do
he
it.
was like, yeah, he's like, no, there's no way I'm like, dude. He's like, they'll know where I live. And I was like, dude, you get a P.O. box. I was like, I'll do it. I'll fucking wear the socks. Listen, you just be the middleman.
Yeah.
Because he's got a thing for you. I'll wear the shit. Give me 70% of it. You keep 30, and we'll call it a
I'll
day.
get
Yeah.
it nice and stanky for you.
Yeah.
And send it out. I need to start up a bear website. I could probably sell some
You
stuff
would
on
make
there.
bank.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's my hairy belly button.
Here's some belly button lint, $50.
Send him a couple strands of hair and shit.
Yeah, well, I could get it for my face and my body and on my head.
You didn't have to be. It didn't have to be your hair.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even send my hair in the mail.
Yeah, they do some
Yeah,
shrines,
they-
some witchcraft.
Some
Well,
weird
that is-
DNA testing.
They'd leave my hairs at a crime scene somewhere.
Yeah,
They'd be
that's
like,
that's what I would be
yeah.
worried
You gotta
about.
worry about
Yeah.
that
Just get you a
nowadays.
German Shepherd. Cut a little bit off every once in a while. Send it out.
There you go.
Just get like a brown poodle.
There you go.
What else we got in the
Curly.
news, Britt?
All right. Bad news for your right hand man,
Dusty B?
your vape.
Oh,
box.
all the
Trump is banning
the vape
flavored
ban.
vape.
You know,
Vape gate.
my
Vape
whole thing about that is,
Do you still
I think-
like the fucker?
he's
racist. He's rapist.
he's a vapist.
He's a vapist. He already is a rapist, but now he's a vapist.
My whole thing with that is,
Racist, rapist, and now a vapist.
I read this on like some
RRV.
some site earlier or some group or whatever. I think he's threatening with a ban just so he can say, okay, we're not going to ban it, but we're going to heavily tax it. And people are going to be
he's
like,
tied
He's
into
not
all
that
the
smart.
big
He's
tobacco
a fucking
companies
idiot.
too. He's
But-
probably getting all kind of Marlboro money.
what I
he
said last
probably
week.
is. He probably is.
Big tobacco, big
not,
pharma.
not denying that at all. He probably is. But I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to threaten with a ban, and then he's going to say, okay, well, we won't ban it, but we're going to tax the fuck out of it. Now, let's get down to brass tacks here. I do not care if he bans it, taxes it, whatever.
Because you're going to bootleg it, moonshine it.
I bootleg it now. Like, I make my own vape juice with flavors separate from the vape juice, all that stuff. So, which I think vapors ought to do anyway, because it's, for one, it's a lot fucking cheaper. All these vape companies out there, like,
It's organic.
I understand, you know, they're out to make money, which is good, make your money or whatever. But like for let's say 100 milliliter, well, even for like this size, this is like a 30 milliliter bottle. Okay, you're gonna pay anywhere from like $10 to $20 for a bottle like this. Okay, I just placed an order for the stuff that I make, and I spent, with shipping, it was like $113, and it's a gallon's worth.
Who believes in scientists, dude?
How much?
so
how much?
so
is,
I'm
like,
making
how
so
much?
much
How long does
bank.
one of those last you? Like that thing that you just
This
showed.
right here, me, because I vape a lot, maybe like a day and a half,
What?
2 days, yeah. For heavy vaping, yeah, like 2 days max. Yeah.
How many gallons a week do you vape? Is that how you say it? Like how many? It used to be how many packs of cigarettes you smoke a day.
I'll put it to you this way: the last time I placed an order was in March, and it's lasted me. It's what, 9? So it's lasted me, and I still have some left.
So
It's
almost
lasted
6
me
months.
6 months. 100 and say $120 every 6 months.
That's not bad at all.
And you go to like a vape shop and you buy 100 milliliter, which is like bigger than that, obviously. And you're gonna spend anywhere from like 25.
And you got to
30
hang out with
bucks.
all those vape people, right? No,
I just
it's
want to
like,
go in, get my stuff, and get out.
Yeah, then they're always like, "Hey, check out this cloud!" Oh, and you're like, "Wow, that's awesome."
Way to go.
Think about that in the cancer ward.
What the fuck, Brent?
It says wow. It is clearly not wow.
No.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's okay. We won't hold it against you.
Yeah.
But even the idea of banning it is stupid.
The idea of banning anything
Yeah,
is
you still have real
what's,
cigarettes out
What's
here.
going on other than that right now that he's drawing attention to that?
What? Yeah. What's he distracting
That's
us
the
from?
thing to think about.
Yeah, that's the
The
real
news
issue.
is talking about that, but like
The fact
what's
that the
going
tariffs
on,
are going to spin us into a crazy recession.
what's going on in Nigeria right
Jesus.
Yeah, aren't they battling?
now? Right.
Some
Like,
civil
I mean, like
war
there's
shit?
something else going on. That's been the whole past 4 years
There's
or whatever it is.
distractions.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Hey, you say Nigeria? Like the Nigerians?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another.
Like the
How,
prince.
how would you all feel instead of calling them Nigerians if they called them like Nigerians or something? I had it in my head when I tried to say it. It didn't really come out right.
Yeah.
It was racist, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah.
attempt was there.
Hey, I went to Africa once.
There's a whole country called Niger. You could have just
Right,
went
exactly.
there.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Like it's right there, Jerry. Literally.
But
It's to distract us
How
from
do
Area
they-
50. It's to distract us from the raid on
No,
Area
the dude
51.
quit. The leader quit.
Now it's
The
supposed to be
movement.
just some fucking stupid
You're
music
just gonna have a
festival now.
rave, yeah.
A rave. If you're going to a rave in this day and age,
No, there's some people still committed to it. You know there is.
I
you're
got
like
it.
50.
It was Nigerians.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
That's a little
That's
iffy.
still even the
Yeah.
worst of the low-hanging fruit. Sorry.
Low hanging balls.
I remember I went to Africa or whatever back in the day, like in my
Right.
early 20s, and I was over there and we were reading a map and we were close to Niger, or Niger, or however you're supposed to say it. And I know I read it and I got terrified. I was like, oh, no. Oh, okay. Like, no, we're not going there, guys. I don't want to get in trouble.
I hear they do drive-by shootings and shit there. I'm not going there.
Ha ha ha.
But weren't 4 people arrested at Area 54 this week too?
51.
50.
Why do you
51.
keep saying 54?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, Studio 54.
Studio
He
54.
thinking like they're gonna be high at the rave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see the
Fucking
connection.
and fucking dancing
How's
and
that?
dancing. And Mike Myers is playing that one guy that's
Austin
all fucked
Powers?
up all the time. No, that movie 54.
Oh,
the guy that
yeah.
owned 54,
Studio?
like the the fruit. that
People
fruit
go
that
out
owned
there
it.
all the
You're
time.
not allowed to
What?
old man.
What?
Mickey.
But no, people go out
Lord.
to Area 51 like constantly. There's people going out there, a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that, but there's people that just go out there with like their whatever Humvee stupid car that they've built.
We should
themselves.
storm Wright Patterson.
Did you
That's what the
Hangar
aliens
18.
are.
Did you
yeah,
ever-
Hangar 18.
along those same lines of people just going and exploring there anyway? There is a town in the middle of Nevada. Like it's a wait list. Like you have to wait to like visit because they only allow in like 50 visitors.
Is it where prostitution is legal?
No, it's something. It's something
That's in Vegas,
alien-y.
man.
All right, talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, so the waiting list is so long.
Yeah, but we get to go there in 72 years. It's going to be exciting. What are you looking? Are you still?
I'm-
Oh, you're looking it up.
She's making
I mean,
sure.
we can move along and I'll talk about it.
She's writing down my Nigerian joke.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Gotta work that one out on stage.
Yeah. Workshop that one.
Marlon Wayans has a little sex tuplets shit that's on Netflix.
Yeah, what's it?
And he's like one of his brothers is like a black ginger, and they call him a ninja.
Is that movie funny?
It's entertaining.
You have to it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a good Netflix movie. They're like, I got some time to kill. I'll laugh. It's a Wayne's.
I'll give everything.
Yeah, like
I
you-
just like they're always funny to
You throw
me.
anything
Any of the Wayans.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
man.
you're expecting. Like if you go in there looking for some like brilliant type of comedy that just make perfect sense, you're never gonna laugh.
Yeah.
But it's funny though.
I like Marlon Wayans too.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles, if I buy you a red wig, will you wear it? Just so I can
Nah.
call you, say, "What's up, my ninja?"
Nah.
No, damn.
Like if it can't be bright red, because then I get like the whole Ronald McDonald thing.
So if it's a natural,
Ronald
red,
McDonald is fucking terrifying.
He's very scary.
Yeah, it's
He's
kind of
creepy.
cool though, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the same.
Anybody that wants to be around
dance and
children
shit,
all the
you know?
time freaks me out.
Well, no, he's not around anymore. He's like that uncle they hide away.
Yeah.
Man, for parade.
Yeah, he's really not in the.
Yeah, they played him.
Actually, you
Every
really don't
once
see
in a
McDonald's
while.
commercials geared towards kids anymore.
No.
I'm mad that you can't. That there's
That's-
not like Grimace and
Grimace was pretty
Hamburger.
terrifying
You
too.
don't see the
Hamburger,
king.
Mayor
You don't
McCheese.
see the king that much in the
Yeah.
ring.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the King's
the
back.
king.
He was
Yeah.
banging it there for a while.
He might get
was-
exposed like the Me Too movement and shit.
Oh.
Like,
You never know.
Because
Well, I mean,
everybody's
he was all
it's
creeping
chicken,
in
'cause
girls'
right now
windows
it's
and
it's
shit.
chicken sandwich war.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chicken sandwich war
Oh, you want
right
to talk about this
now.
bun
Yeah.
sitch?
BYOB.
Segue into now the Popeyes chicken sandwich they debuted. They had to take it off the menu for a couple weeks because of the demand, and I guess part the big reason for the demand was they couldn't keep up with like buns.
I
so
thought
now
I
they're
thought
doing
they
a now they're
lost
doing
this-
a
or they ran out of chicken sandwiches.
now they're bringing a bring your own bun
That's
promotion.
great.
they gonna be in the bag just
Hopefully
cutting
it's cheap.
chicken off the bone. And
Yeah.
piece it
Here, I'll make
together.
you one real quick.
They gonna blend it together like a
I
McDonald's burger. What's
Mince
that
it
pink
up.
slime? and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah. So, Brad, how do you feel about that? You gonna be hitting up Popeyes? With
I
the
can't.
one bun? Why can't you?
because of I'm on that diet.
You can't have chicken?
I can't
Not
have
breaded
not
chicken?
breaded chicken.
What the
Uh,
fuck, man? Come
Not
on,
even like a
man.
cheat day? Do you guys have cheat days?
Soon
Not
I'm allowed to
yet.
have a cheat day. Not tomorrow. I get a delicious 1 month anniversary diet treat tomorrow.
And what's that going to consist of?
It's like food swinging.
Delicious treat.
Might as well be.
What am I getting? I get a Starbucks
He gets
tomorrow.
a Starbucks
I
tomorrow
get a Starbucks
Wow.
tomorrow
with the sugar-free caramel.
with sugar-free caramel in it.
Aren't you lucky?
You want to waste your cheat day on a Starbucks?
It's not a
it's
cheat.
not a
It's not
cheat.
really
It's
a
not a
cheat.
cheat.
It's just
It's a treat.
it's a treat.
I'm going to start like just eating nasty food and then just send you pictures of me.
Whatever, man. I just think about
Yeah.
now. Like I
I
think
mean,
about.
you already do eat nasty.
I think-
So what are you supposed to
Oh.
say to me? This
Oh,
vegan
yeah,
thing?
yeah. I was going to tell you. I went to Kroger this week, and usually we buy the JTM hamburger patties. My kids love eating hamburgers. But this week, I switched it up, and I got veggie burgers.
Bocas or like.
They were the Bocas, yeah.
Yeah, Boca's pretty good.
My kids weren't huge fans.
They are,
My
right.
wife didn't really care for them.
Did you tell him?
I told them after the fact.
Yeah, that's the funnest part.
I told them like while they were eating, I was like, "Hey, when you guys are done eating those, I'll tell you what it is. You guys can
Oh,
guess."
you already fucked it up.
Yeah, I know. Like, hey,
Yeah.
guess what? You're definitely not eating real hamburger
Well,
meat
the
right
thing
now.
is, they know that I'm notorious for like slipping in like weird shit. Like I'll slip in like duck and like deer meat and shit all the time. So like I told them, I was like, "You guys
Never had
can-
duck.
You got it's good, dude. If you like greasy, it's good." They were guessing. They were like, "Is it bear? Is it shark?" You know, naming all these different kinds of fucking animals.
Brontosaurus.
And then they got done, and I was like, "You guys were way off the entire time. It's actually an all 100% vegetable burger."
Oh my god. Ugh.
One of his
No,
kids threw a
throwing up.
PlayStation controller in his face.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
How dare you?
But I mean, they didn't hate them, but
Did you make him on
Like-
the grill?
I made the first night we did the George Foreman,
Oh,
and
the
then
foreman.
the second night I did it on the griddle. And
The foreman. God,
the
I
fo-
want a foreman.
Foremans are
Um,
good.
The form
I-
is
I-
gas
I-
shit too much.
I have a foreman
I didn't think so.
grill story. There, I had a friend in college, and he was like kind of a nerd, and like everybody's like, "Oh, okay, like whatever." And he's like, "I'm gonna have a grill out. It's gonna be great. Blah blah blah. Get there at like 6:00." And we're like, "Okay, we're not gonna be the first nerds at this party, so we're gonna be here like we got there like 6:37 ish, and we're the first people there." And it's like him, his like grandma in the other room, and like he's like, "Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fire up the grill," and he like goes out with like an extension cord, and he took his George Foreman grill and extension corded it like outside. And like on his like little stoop, like just I'm like, you can do that in the kitchen. He's like, but it's a grill out.
It's not a grill in;
Did
it's
he
a
have
grill
the,
out.
Did he have the circular one or just a small little
Just a
two
small-
patties?
Oh, the two patties. At least you can make two patties though at once. You could fire through those.
But
pretty
they do
quick.
make an outside
Making 'em-
looking Foreman
Yeah,
grill,
that's what I
like
asked. They have
yeah.
the circular one. It's basically supposed to be like grill.
You know who the original person was supposed to be for that grill and turned it
I
down?
read that.
Sylvester Stallone.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Oh.
sure was. Yep.
Yeah,
I
they
do
would have sold
remember
a
reading
lot
that.
more.
Listen here, brother.
What
Like,
you gonna
what
do,
with these
when we come grilling
yeah,
all over
the
you?
grill?
Brother.
He had Pasta Mania though.
Pasta Mania.
Hulk Hogan did.
You can
yeah.
tell that
He had a
really
pasta
well.
restaurant, like a Fazoli's kind of thing, for a very short period of time.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Everything-
called Pasta Mania.
Everything.
Real thing. I'm not
involving-
joking. It was like a real thing. Remember when WCW had the restaurant?
No.
There was a WCW restaurant.
Really?
hmm
90s were a wild time.
I
It
remember-
was where
I
wresling
know-
was. That was the outlaw
I know
days.
WWE has the the thing in New York now, like the bar and grill type place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
WWE Bar and Grill.
Yeah. Brett, what else we got on the news? Let's keep this thing rolling.
There are only 2 date-specific ones. I don't know if we want to get into any 9/11.
It was.
Shatter.
Well,
it was 9/11
then
this
if we
week.
forget, if we didn't.
9/11 is now legal. So
Yeah. I love the meme
It's been
where
21
it
years.
was on the casting
No,
couch. No, it was 18.
Oh, it's 18.
Did you know that?
Apparently I forgot.
11 both ways.
it is. It's
Yeah.
same the whole week.
What do they call that? It's like a
Palindrome.
palindrome.
I always celebrate 9/11 by jumping out of my window Mick Foley style onto a mattress.
Just to
Just to get that.
commemorate the feeling.
Yeah, I mean that I think that was probably the most fucked up thing for 9/11 for me.
Was watching the dude jump out the
Yeah,
window.
just like knowing like, oh
Did you
my
guys
God.
watch that
That was pretty
documentary?
fucked up.
Which one?
The-
Yeah, which there's literally thousands.
Only like 100.
Inside
The
the
one about-
YouTube one, man.
The one about the falling man.
Oh no, that might be too
one?
depressing.
Oh, sorry.
That'd be too
There's a
depressing.
couple falling men.
Well, the famous Times magazine picture.
I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
more hurt by the bombs going off on the lower floors before the building collapsed. That was the saddest part to me.
Yeah.
The real tragedy
Confirmation
there.
of the
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then also found out a certain amount of high-profile people were told not to come to work. You know, that part is
Yeah.
more sad to me.
Well, what was the guy that he was getting investigated for all the billions that was
Oh,
unaccounted
I
for
forgot about
at the
it.
Pentagon?
The day before, yeah.
And it was like-
Rumsfeld? Was it
Yeah,
Rumsfeld?
yeah.
Yeah.
Rumsfeld.
And the plane crashed right into the place where they had all that documentation in the Pentagon.
Which is, I think
very
is the
strange,
craziest
too.
part, like going
The
back
plane
and
that
like
wasn't a plane.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yep.
the whole
And the
Pentagon
guy
thing.
That was on the league that said his dad.
Oh,
was,
yeah, the
or he was
Roussenovsky.
in 9/11.
Right.
Hold on, what?
Jim Renatsky.
He was
Yeah,
on
you
the
never
show
heard
The
about that?
League.
You remember that show, The League,
The
the TV
comedian?
show?
What about it? What happened?
Well, there was
do
a
you
guy that
remember
was
the
on.
show on the league?
Yeah, I
the
remember
league.
the show. I just
The
don't know.
the one with the wife.
I don't know.
The
He was the Jay Leno looking type.
He
Yeah.
apparently has
Okay.
been like telling a story the whole time. He's been
Renuzzi.
been a celebrity that he was in the Twin Towers.
No.
That
That's how he kind of got on
Yeah.
the show.
he was in the
working
Twin
there.
Towers, and that's kind of how he became famous. And it turned out that he wasn't like
he never worked there.
He never worked there. He never or
He
anything.
started a small story, and then it kept growing because it got him like, oh, hey, he's a survivor.
He's a comedian that would like survive
And
9/11.
and somehow he survived the truth coming out too. So he's still in comedy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to look this guy up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony Jeselnik.
It's a win-win.
7 lives left.
I mean, not kind of a win the first time.
Sorry, I forgot.
Now
about
there was
that.
a news story though about how it's 18 years now or whatever, and they had 2 of these kids that were born on 9/11 that they were talking to their grandparents and stuff, and like their grandparents worked in the Pentagon, and because they were born that day, they were at the hospital instead of at work, and he would have been in that area. And this other kid, like his uncle worked at the Twin Towers, and he went to go see him be born. And that was the reason he wasn't there when it hit, and so there was this like really peaceful,
Years
nice
before
story.
they were even born.
It's like, oh man,
What a coinky dink.
yeah.
Wow.
It's
Well,
so-
he wouldn't have died
it's
in
so
the
weird.
Pentagon. So they
Well,
would've
he
been
was supposed to
alive.
be in that exact area.
9/11 is just all
Nobody
in our mind
died.
anyway.
But he was
Never
like, I
happened.
thank you for being born. You saved my life, little man.
Did
The
like
New Yorkers better be especially.
they never? I don't know. Like the whole Pentagon thing. Like they never come up with a convincing story for me.
None of it's
Like-
convincing.
To prove what
United
happened.
93, that part is
Yeah.
bullshit. The plane somehow crashed.
I think
and
93
you
was
found,
shot
like,
down.
This type of shit, like
Yeah.
leaflets and like a couple pieces of paper. You know?
And to like hit to hit a commercial airline into like a 7-story building is like literally needle in a haystack. If you're not like that
New York
alone
was
would be a feat in and of itself.
I think the worst part of 9/11 for me though was like the tribute concerts. And it's all
I don't
those
even
celebrities
remember
like coming
those.
out. Remember they were like working the phone lines, like
Toby
fucking
Keith.
Reese Witherspoon's like working working the phone lines.
All I
remember
remember was Kanye
George
West
Clooney.
and shit. You know, George Bush.
Oh yeah, that thing,
That's all I
yeah,
really remember.
yeah.
Where were you? What
Oh, yeah,
world
where
was
were
standing
you? Yeah, Stairway to Heaven. What was it called? What was it? No, there was the.
Toby Keith had one. I can't remember how
Yeah,
it went.
I tried to start a rumor Toby Keith was Canadian.
That's career ending right
Wait, I
there.
have a question. Are there Canadian country stars?
Yeah, a few.
Maybe.
Really?
Is Darius Rucker Canadian?
A few. I like
Might as well be.
That was an honest question.
I I'm like obsessed with like.
Darius Rucker. I know
Yeah.
he's great.
Yeah.
Keith Urban's Australian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
he
shit,
sucks.
I didn't know
He's
that.
so country. He's from down under.
Is he the one that's married to
He-
Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Hey.
pulling Tom Cruise leftovers.
Alien
Yeah.
head.
How fucked up is a girl you start dating after she was just married to Tom Cruise for like several years?
Probably pretty.
Oh, the
Yeah.
shit she turned her head from.
What else we got in the news, Brett?
Besides that,
We still got Celebrity
it's
Deaths to
it's
get
a
to.
little
Oh, yeah.
a little mystical in that it is Friday the 13th, and it is a full moon, but it's also like a fancy full moon in Pisces. So
Oh, I'm Pisces. What's that mean? I
That
cry
means-
extra
that
hard
means you're gonna-
tonight?
Yeah,
Oh, all
be
right.
extra
More than
neurotic.
More depressed
week.
and sad than I usually do. I'm looking
You're gonna
forward to
rub
this.
cheeseburgers on your naked body tonight to feel better.
No
man.
buns though.
Yeah.
Gotta save those for Popeyes.
Yeah, for my treat.
For that
No
treat.
buns, hun. But yeah, that's all for the news. Thank you for coming.
I would like to get some like balls deep into some Friday the 13th stuff, but
Yeah,
we're at an hour 15.
Yeah, we're at an
and
hour
Leo's
15.
got to
Let's
get
get
to
to
work,
celebrity
man.
deaths, yeah.
Who died? That
Who
one
died?
How many fucks do I give? How many fucks do I give? None. Not one. Zero. 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 Die.
I would just like to say that when you're not here and I have to do the sounds, I always forget to play that, and I love that song.
I'm glad.
Guy. Do
It's
got
so
a nice
good.
little groove to it.
Yeah, I like it.
So who died? Oh,
First up, your dude, Daniel Johnston.
Try to act like who died. You know who
yeah,
died.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Who
no one's gonna give a
died?
fuck. We can zip right past that.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 4 though.
You know, I watched that trailer that you sent, and
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing that trailer like years ago, but I still don't know who the fuck that guy is. He sounded kind of cool,
Yeah, he's like
but I don't know.
he's like an illegitimate crazy person.
How
Yeah.
many fucks do you give?
I'm gonna have to go. I'll go 2.
2.
That's more than Grumpy Cat.
That trailer must have been shit.
I mean, it was all right, but you know, I still don't know who the fuck he is.
He
you know.
reminded me of like a worse songwriter, Jeff Buckley.
Oh my god.
Anyway, tag him.
No clue. What was his name again?
Daniel Johnston. He was a singery, songwritery dude.
Oh,
The weird guy.
Yeah. I do know actually. So, yeah, I'll do 4.
4? Nice. Leo, what
I have
about you,
no
bro?
idea
A solid
who he is,
one.
So he gets the standard human 1.
I'll go 2. Okay. T. Boone Pickens, my personal
Whoa,
favorite.
2?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
T. Boone Pickens was a early adopter of, so like during the Bush years when it was
1 0 0. How's this guy a celebrity? What album has he put out?
Shut up!
What?
He is a celebrity because I said so, and he basically suggested that we replace all fossil fuels and make all of our cars run on natural gas while we
Wait a
switch
minute.
everything
Did he get
to
killed by a
renewable-
Clinton?
No.
Oh, then I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I don't-
Did he suicide himself?
He was like 83.
Oh,
like,
and
he was
that's even
old.
like that's not
No, I
even
think he was actually
shocking.
92. But he was still like, he was like a Ross Perot character. He
1.
on TV. All right, fine. Okay, 1.
I'll go 1, 2, just because.
1.
Yeah.
1 as well.
1.
Dag him 1.
1.
1.
What'd you give him?
I'll give him a 2 because he's.
Yeah, you had 7 on there and you crossed it out. What are you talking about?
That was her like, this is my pick of the week. This is my guy.
This is my death. This
I'm
is
gonna
my
give him a 2.
Yeah.
I just remember in like the throes of the Bush years, like he was like the only like
You were in-
common
You
ground.
were like 12
No,
then.
it wasn't. Fuck off. I was like 16.
Oh.
I bet her hamster got more
I
fucks.
know.
My hamster would give more fucks because my hamsters were adorable. All right, Eddie Money. We just talked
Oh,
about
yeah,
Oh,
Eddie
duh,
Money.
you-
him.
I-
Eddie Money.
Yeah, I'm sad about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just. Oh yeah, you probably heard one of some of his
He's got-
songs.
Didn't he do
Take
two?
me home tonight. I don't wanna let you go till you see the light.
You know that song?
Do you know what was his other big one?
2 tickets to paradise.
That's
Yeah,
that's the
dude.
one
I
I'm more
thought that
familiar
he
with.
was a member of Van Halen.
Oh my God!
No.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, and he had the weird mouth when he would sing.
Sing his song with that mouth.
Which one?
2 Tickets to Paradise.
Oh
yeah.
God, 2 tickets to paradise. And then go watch a video of him.
You sound like dead on him too.
Thank you.
Man. That was good, man. I really,
All right, how
I
many
really
fucks do you give
enjoyed
it? He's
that.
dead.
I will give Eddie Money a solid 7. I'll go 7.
7? Wow.
7, not bad. Daggum, what about you?
I'll do a 5.
A lot of good
5?
memories of his songs
Comfort?
growing up on on the
Alright.
radio
Give him
and
a
stuff.
3, 'cause I
3?
know a couple of the songs, I guess.
Okay, all right. And I too, I'm gonna give him a 5, but it's got to be a 5 with a line through it, so it looks like a dollar sign. For
Oh,
money.
Two lines.
Can your pick just be dollar sign?
Dollar
Yeah.
sign.
Just dollar
Yeah.
sign.
That's it.
I'll
Baby,
go,
hold on to
I
me.
don't know.
He
I'll
does
go-
that one too.
I'll go 3.
Whatever will be, will be.
That almost sounds like Michael McDonald.
Yeah. Oh, that's a.
Michael
That's-
McDonald
oh
is
my
Brad's
God.
dude.
That's my beard. That's my beard. Oh man.
Your beard crush.
It's just that he's an amazing man.
My mom used to be cool with this white dude when I was like little a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think they should like mess around a little bit.
Yeah.
He used to look like Michael McDonald.
Would she tell you to call him uncle?
No, he wasn't like, he was
Uncle
just
Michael.
a friend. He was cool as hell
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
I can't believe. No.
Yeah, you do.
Good.
I hear Yamo be there one more time.
I get.
Y'all might be there.
Yamo burn this place to the ground.
I'll give him 3. Okay.
What did you give him?
I gave him a
5,
dollar
yeah,
sign.
triple.
Dollar
Yeah,
sign.
I gave him a dollar
Oh,
sign.
I forgot it that
Yeah.
quick. Damn.
It's all right, man.
And then my last death,
Damn, there's more.
the rides at Coney Island.
The rides, yeah, they took away the rides at Coney Island. are
Can
going
I
away.
take the wheel on this one?
Yeah.
I don't like roller coasters, so I'm going 0.
So what else?
They don't
was
have
there?
roller coasters
That's a water
there.
park.
Oh, like
right?
roller coasters.
Well,
no.
now they're going to
They're
focus more on
putting it
making
all
it,
into a water
into
park
the water
instead of
park
the
now. But they're getting
rides
rid of all. I was like, tell Brittany's like, oh, I'm just like, go to a fair. It's the same fucking rides they have at a fair.
Yeah.
It's the history of the matter.
I don't ride none of them rides.
I don't think
the fair
not the
shitty,
fair.
too.
Although
Yeah,
I-
nothing.
My mom and I did ride
Yeah, those
the roller
people running those
coaster.
rides are like 15-year-old kids or like some methed out fucking carny dude.
Lost Boy.
My mom and I
Yeah.
did ride the roller coaster there this summer and probably need to go to the chiropractor from
Yeah,
it.
well,
so
yeah, one last
fuck
ride.
those rides.
I
One last
swear,
ride.
if they like run the identity of the people running the rides, I guarantee they'll start to find like missing children.
Yeah.
Like, early 90s.
Yeah. No shit.
Like Cardi.
Those weirdos that were running the Ferris wheel, fucking.
Blake Wilson,
Um,
he's been missing from
There's
Idaho.
Fair.
there are all these like Roma gypsy people running the fair in Louisville,
Yeah, they
like
were-
the Kentucky State
I think
Fair.
they just read.
That's at every fair.
It's insane.
I do want to get like caught up in like some cult shit, but not like be like real all the way. Like, hey, cut.
Yeah.
This is as far as I go. I do kind of want to see it a little bit, like firsthand.
I would join a cult out of
Boredom.
curiosity. Like,
Yeah, I just wish like I can like quit and not turn in like fucking the sacrifice or something.
Now, I was gonna say
Oh,
now,
Wicker
now
Man.
take,
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
take it from me here. I study cults quite often here. It's kind of like my little
what's
guilty
your
pleasure.
favorite
or whatever.
cult?
Oh, Jim Jones.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm with him
Yeah.
on that. I gotta
Don't
say.
mess up the
knockout
computers,
champ.
man.
That's like
yeah.
the Nike of
Hours
gonna go
cults. Like that's
But-
too.
No, that was
generic.
actually Heaven's Gate. They wore Nikes.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
They were the Nike of cults.
And they was
Yeah.
crispy.
They were like endorsed by Nike.
It was fresh out the box.
Yeah.
But take it from me, man. Take it from me. If you join a cult, if you decide you're going to get out, get the fuck out right then. Don't like tell other people you're trying to leave because somebody's always going to rat you out.
Yep.
That's true. That loyal
Gonna be like,
follower.
gonna be like, hey man, Leo's thinking about getting out of the cult.
They get some special black meat.
Cut his
Yeah.
fucking head off
Burn
tonight.
and shit.
Well, just like
Sacrifice to the
what-
gods.
What's her name? The wife of the head of Scientology has not been seen since like
Oh
2014.
yeah, David Misgiven's wife.
She's
yeah.
not
Like,
the only one. There's like a
She
bunch.
gone.
There's a bunch of the head people that are like they talk about all the time.
Yeah.
That are just not around
They're
anymore.
disappeared.
But they're like, oh yeah, they told us to tell you this. And
If sex was involved, I guarantee more people would be willing to be sacrificed.
There's some of those weird like
Like
cults
blood
that use
fuckings.
sex to like
Yeah.
bait
Yeah.
people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You like? Would you like?
No, I don't want
Get
to
fucked and die?
No, hell, I don't want to. Like if I had to die, like of course that would be a great way to go out.
That's true.
if it were my destiny to go out in a cult, I wanted to be one of those.
I knew deep down inside you were into some autoerotic asphyxiation.
I mean, you know who isn't? You know.
You know.
Robin
Gotta live on
Williams
the
isn't
edge.
anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
He got out
He
early.
got out in the early game.
he got out too late, actually.
Bourdain. He
Yeah.
got Bourdain of it.
What else we got, Britt? Anything? that it?
That's all she wrote.
We got-
We didn't properly fuck the Coney Island rides though.
Fuck
Yeah.
them.
They're not
I
a
think
human.
it's-
They don't bleed.
I was sad though.
They
Is that a
ble-
rule?
They bleed
Yeah, you
like
have to be able to
hydraulic
bleed.
fluid
Do
and
you
shit.
bleed, bro?
There's a lot of blood there, pal.
I mean, I'm sure people have blood on the ride, so that
Yeah.
counts.
There you go.
But next week's the big.
Yes, next week.
300.
Our 300th episode. Now, this is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about this. Brad, you've helped kind of align a lot of the talent coming in next week.
We have Jay Armstrong's coming in.
Jay Armstrong, he was the first comedian guest we ever had. I actually did like a split podcast with him at one point.
We got Glenn Childress coming in.
Glenn Childress, possibly the first black dude we ever had on the show. All his stories. Sorry, Leo. You know what else
He
we
ain't
got?
even
Brad?
like mod black. Like he like light black.
I haven't heard back from them yet.
He
But
gonna
hopefully
be
I
mad.
will.
He's actually been told he's not black enough.
Really?
Yeah.
We a Marilyn Manson tribute band possibly is coming here to play.
Have you heard back
acoustically.
from them?
I sent them or a message on Facebook. Hopefully I hear back from them. They seemed into it, but I told them I would remind them about a week before the show. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
And then we are also going to do hot wing,
super fucking
super
hot
fucking
ass wing
hot ass wing challenge
chicken
thing.
Now,
Washing it down with our Kool-Aid challenge.
wait,
Are we doing the Kool-Aid challenge?
was that a poke at Jim
No.
Jones?
Oh no!
Remember we talked about the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Shut the
We talked about the
We're talking about it.
the Kool-Aid cook-off. Who makes the best Kool-Aid?
Is that a thing? Are we really doing that?
No, that sounds really
apparently
involved.
that
And
sounds
oh,
like-
I'm
Brad can't do it because he can't have sugar.
Yeah, we neither
Making
can
Kool-Aid.
you.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
He gonna pass out.
Didn't you say you were gonna have a musical? Maybe. You were
Yes. I got to remind him, just like you got to remind your people. Jimmy Shields, aka Jimmy the Saint, now. He did an episode with me a couple of years back. It was kind of random. He was like, dude, I can't. The only day I'm free is like a Saturday. I was like, well, fucking come in. He came in. It was just me and him. It was real intimate. He played some fucking great songs. And he's super fucking funny. I love fucking Jimmy.
Did you bang him?
He's cool. No, but I probably
Damn it.
would.
Are we gonna get Toby
Toby's still in rehab.
via satellite or
in?
something?
We could probably get Toby via satellite.
Oh, and I have Axl Rose's phone number, and we might we're gonna try to give him a call.
knees.
Friday night. I mean, what's Axl Rose doing on a Friday night but
Yeah.
just hanging out at home?
We're gonna be.
Probably.
Are we gonna announce our costumes?
What?
No one cares.
Our costumes.
Who the fuck started talking about costumes?
No. Brad and I are gonna be Slash and Axl Rose. for
Oh, are you
Halloween.
dressing up? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
I was
for
like,
the
did I
Who
miss
cares
that
about
memo?
No.
We're gonna dress up like that for the show next
Yeah, we
week.
are.
Oh,
We're gonna try 'em
okay.
out.
Just
Get our
because.
money's
cool.
worth.
And then
All
what?
right.
That's. I mean, we'll probably have some other shenanigans going on.
Yeah, we
right?
should.
Tune in for the hot wing.
I've
contest.
talked to a couple of different people that have been on the show previously. I think Dan Dean is trying to come out. I think Joey Pye might be trying to come out, although he's on the show like all the time. Dagum, I know I asked you, but it's your wife's birthday next week.
Yeah, same day.
Yeah, same
Yeah, so we got some
exact
stuff
day.
going on then.
So, yeah, and a lot of people, said they couldn't make it because they got the Area 51 raid that they're planning on not
Yeah.
going to.
That's what I should have used
Either,
instead of
so.
my wife's birthday. That's pretty lame.
Yeah.
We'll probably have some dusty mules or some drinks.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely do a little something.
We're
a
gonna
little
pay for the
wild, yeah.
world's most expensive Uber after the show.
Oh, you guys, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's true.
And then these wings are no joke, man.
Yeah, he actually hit me up and was talking about them. He's like, dude, they're really fucking hot. Like they're
And he
super hot.
didn't even tell me what they're made with, but I trust him.
I know he's a pepper guy. I've gotten some peppers from him before, and they were super fucking hot.
He's gonna make some vegan wings for Leo.
Some cauliflower
cauliflower?
wings.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty good.
We could do.
Would you eat them if we made them
Yeah, I ate cauliflower wings before. I had some the other day.
with the hot sauce?
Well, yeah, they were hot. I had them with hot sauce. I had
With
them
this
barbecue
super hot
sauce.
sauce that we're talking
Well,
about.
yeah, I'll
Okay.
try it out.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
t-
that's
talk to your boy.
We'll
Talk to your
accommodate.
boy,
100th show.
Yeah.
I'll,
Just tell them like, is it gonna be on the side or is it gonna be?
It's
like
gonna be
doused
like
in it?
I think it's gonna be like
Doused,
yeah,
probably.
doused
'Cause I
probably.
just figured that like if it's too hot, you don't want to waste all that food.
They're
right?
gonna be moist.
I think
We're not
that's- I
He's
think
gonna make
the- I
one
think the goal-
cauliflower
yeah, I
wing.
think the goal is to be
Sorry.
Crying.
crying, which I probably will. You'll probably see me crying on the show next
I'll
week.
bring some homemade ranch. We can dip it in.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
Why?
Because that's not.
cheating.
That's
You-
cheating.
if you want to do something, bring in a gallon of milk.
You're allowed to have
No,
milk
You
afterwards.
can
Okay.
bring ranch.
You
but
know what? I'll
can't-
bring a gallon. I'll bring in a gallon.
Can
I'll
I
bring
just
milk.
do a shooter? Can I chase it with?
That's
the
what I'm
ranch?
saying.
No,
you
you can't.
Can
That's
drink the
cheating.
ranch, but you can't dip your chicken.
Yeah, you
in the
can't
ranch.
dip it in there.
All right, I'll just dip my tongue in the ranch.
Bread, milk, and ranch. Just drink it.
And I'll bring some bread and some. Oh, we can't have
Blend it
bread.
all
Well,
up.
I can't have. I'm having milk if it's.
Fine, cheater.
That milk will make you throw up after something hot, though. Just a heads up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just dip your tongue in ranch like a normal person.
From an old movie I watched before, ketchup and mustard seems to really work. You just
Say
squirt
that
that right
again?
in there. Ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted
just-
to hear you say that.
Ketchup and mustard.
Oh, sorry.
Man, I just always want to watch the scene where the band breaks up in that movie. God, that's one of the funniest
What?
scenes in a movie ever. In Sling Blade, where the band breaks up.
You push them in the corner.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
man.
fucking sitting in those lawn chairs, fucking hillbillies.
You got
Hey, now watch your mouth.
Up your.
All right, so
That's
we
been a
are
great show, everybody.
we are going to get out of here, and you know this was the only comment we got on our YouTube feed tonight. It was a guy from a guy named Chad Linton, and I reread this and I got the joke here. He says, "Hey, can you give a shout out to Mike Hawk, Buggest Alien fan?"
Mike Hawk?
Mike Hawk, yeah.
Oh, I know Mike Hawk.
Mike
Yeah,
Hawk?
do you?
Yeah.
I think I know Mike Hawk, or Mike Hawk.
Well, I don't know.
No, your
I don't know
cock.
your cock. I know my cock.
Yeah, that's what I was
Quite
getting at. Yeah. But thanks, Chad, for at least dropping a comment there.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah. So be sure to tune in next week for episode 300. We are going to get the hell out of here tonight.
Oh, and me and Brittany will be appearing at Newport Kroger tonight.
Yeah. If anybody's.
If anybody wants to come watch us buy
Why?
groceries.
Why would you say?
I was thinking, like, what the fuck, man?
By the ranch.
So it's
we're
been
just
a great
saying we're just
show.
saying Newport to throw
Alright.
people off.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Our address is 60.
All right. Tune in next week for episode 300. Thank you, Chad Linton. He did a biggest, because I said buggest, and I don't know. He says, I didn't know this was actually live. Yes, Chad, this is actually live. Tune in next week for episode 300. I'm your host, Jerry Saylor.
Oh, I'm just Will that guy.
Leo Bishop.
Brad Sabbath.
Brad.
And we are the fuck out. Stay sober, Toby. About fucking time, Brad.